My name is Diego, but I know as Turi. I am network specialist and technical leader at Banco Itaú. The squad that I lead technically take care LAN, 5G, WAN, and Wi-Fi all Itaú sites. I leave here in the end of presentation the QR code with my LinkedIn profile so that we can talk to each other in the future. Because of the pandemic, the remote work has been intensified. We went from 500 VPN connection to more than 4,000 sessions in the first few days. Harago was very clear at the time. We wanted to ensure the safety of employees for working from home with their families. We didn't use video conference a lot. Our collaboration tools were for chats. We used to have a lot of meetings in person. We created a home office culture and introduced collaboration tools in the journey of employees. After making sure the quality of monitoring of the VPN environments, we began looking at the Wi-Fi environment to prepare our sites for the return time. We didn't know how long the pandemic would last in Brazil. The Wi-Fi network was a secondary network, but there were different setups, and the wired network was very present. The monitoring only was based on equipment availability. availability. They respond quickly by enabling the hub's Wi-Fi network, making Wi-Fi the primary network. In the some hubs, the only connection option. We changed the level of monitoring our environments, ensure the monitoring and resiliency of environments, but also start to proactively the monitoring environments, measure user experience through agents on laptops, and sensor that perform synthetic tests. These synthetic tests are scheduled and made from different sites, include VPN access, measure the experience of employees in roaming, authentication, and collaboration tools. On the screen, we can see how experience was like and what is like after the pandemic scenario. Here, we can see how our offices are. Open environments, random position for employees, and with a layout configuration that allow for collaboration and dynamics. Our employees can schedule work position and gather their teams in different offices. In meeting rooms for chose meetings and celebration that require teams to be together. After the pandemic, some areas returning to in-person model, others will remain remote. Since September of this year, these employees need to be in person 4 times a month. For next year, the employees will need to in-person mode 8 times a month. Now we can see some big numbers from our environments. We have VPN as our main sites, have 15,000 sessions daily. This is average volume of employees working remotely. Our offices have been and being prepared to have Wi-Fi only, cableless environments, arrays reaching around 35,000 corporate devices daily. Wide network will be used only as an exception for cases where the application requires the wider network in the case of IoT. Some highlights. We have more than 96,000 corporate laptops with more than 202 models. These scenarios of different models is super challenging, especially when the configuration the network to achieve the same experience for our employees. Nowadays, it's a common to see meetings with more than 500 people in the same invitation. 12 lives. How in-person model would be possible this volume in meeting rooms or auditoriums? Here, we observe that we have a super challenge scenario, and we also observe that 12 measurements and KPIs that we put together, we come to the information that our users don't need large bandwidth. Example, with a 2.5 Mbps ensure internet access per device, it's already possible to have a good experience with a collaboration tools. To close the first topic, hybrid work, I leave here some key points. It's necessary to monitor and ensure the availability of networks for in-person access in the Itaú sites or in any other location. Ensure adherence to manufacturer's recommendation and a good hardening template for our environments was fundamental to the experience and safety of the environments. In this topic, we will see more about our recommendation for robust Wi-Fi environments, in what network requirements and design allowed us to reach the Wi-Fi only scenario in main offices. Here, we can see the size of our network infrastructure. Employees return to Itaú sites with a great use of collaboration tools. We need to measure, monitor, and create the network monitor process to be able to understand the new normal and apply the best fine tuning. Now, we have monitor of the all elements from topology. An interesting fact is the people start using Wi-Fi in their house, making the engaging in use the Wi-Fi network. Employees the agencies who previously had desktops. After they received the laptops, we're looking for some mobility. One change we had. What the people in their house had been 200 Mbps or more in the to use on the device at home. While the office's the bandwidth computation would be 800 endpoints per day. Certainly, the bandwidth of the bank would be lower. We would have to ensure availability, mobility, and access security. These slides show important information that helped us to base the design and capacity of the environment we created. In the national and international market, terminals or endpoints normally have 1 by 1 or 2 by 2 radios. So on the right, we see the maximum speeds obtained at the endpoints for 13 megahertz channel width scenario, which are offers good speed for high density scenario. Again, a technical slide that shows us the less is more. The smaller the number of SSIDs offers better use of Wi-Fi spectrum. Here, we are talking about better use of radio frequency. In different websites, it's possible. Let me see the slides. Is a table, Danny? Yeah. In different websites, it's possible to observe of information. We see bandwidth recommendation per application. Here, I want to call everyone's attention to indicate that we don't need high rates. What we need is a stable, resilient network that we can share. This bandwidth for the application to work. I highlighted which bands we consider building or high density network scenario. It's a very important to keep up with the evolution of technology. We are paying attention to Wi-Fi 6 extended, and we are already have large volume of Wi-Fi access points, Wi-Fi 6 access points in terminals. These 3 points that we see here are the basis of environment to work. Need to have an available, scalable, and secure network. Here, I would like to remind everyone that Wi-Fi has always been more secure than a wired network, giving the encryption carried out from the terminal. I would also like to remind you that the speed of the wired network will always be higher compared to the Wi-Fi network. Now, to finish the Wi-Fi only topic, it is common to say that Wi-Fi is living network. It will need to be monitored and reviewed with its change in layout or people's density. I also lived here the values we use for the best network design. I remember us of the good practices, the manufacturers, the many manufacturers. Priorities your critical application appropriated. Here, it's worth remember that there is QoS over there. Arrays guaranteeing priority and bandwidth from the moment the traffic leaves. I reinforce technically that roaming decision will always be made by the terminal. In the infrastructure, it's only possible to influence it, but the decision belongs to the endpoints. A special tip. There are no logical correction in the Wi-Fi environment that fix physical problem. It's important to pay attention to the site survey to prepare size the environments. Here, we will talk about our last talk. We involved our way the monitoring as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. We went from a scenario where we monitored the availability of equipments to scenario where we measure the user's experience. Our attention to observability has made us a reference for manufacturers. We begin to proactively measure our environments, 12 synthetic tests, sensors, and agents at the station to simulate tests and also capture real traffic. In this way, we can use artificial intelligence to raise the level of troubleshooting, being able to detect deviation in behavior based on a baseline learning in our solution. We use tools to their maximum potential with a very important proximity to manufacturers. 12 APIs. We integrate the tools with our ITSM. Because of this, we are able to have a centralized and unified view of the incidents and deviation. Here, we see an example of synthetic test we carry out. With sensors, we were able to map a real association failure that would certainly impact a large group of users and treat it quickly. We have dashboard of deviation and health from our environments. We have measured the health of our Wi-Fi environment 12 OKRs. We have a 96% health score, which according to information from the manufacturer is a success case. Here, we see a clear scenario in real case of deviation behavior. In this case, a site had a high association in authentication time. Improve our way of monitoring, separating the vision for the 8 elements that make up the architecture and understand the impact this code could have. With the use of artificial intelligence, we understand in the next two slides in the we first need to have visibility so that tools will give us the outputs to make better decisions. The next slides, I speak in the other moments. Here is a good example for reduced time to resolve problem. Previously, we need to send the technical to the site to find out what the experience was after a poor quality network connection. Sorry. Today, we are able to remotely measure the quality of a connection. To finish our presentation, our success advice is to monitor all elements that make up your Wi-Fi and VPN networks. Only with full observability your company can respond quickly to failures and assurance the resiliency of environments. Thank you very much for everyone's participate that session. I share my profile in LinkedIn in that QR code. Thank you very much.